Not going to disclose that information.
Let me give you some advice. When we're on a traffic stop, you are not legally allowed to walk up and interfere with our traffic stop. You can stand back and record as much as you want to, but if you interfere with a traffic stop again, I'm going to arrest you for interfering. Okay. Do you understand that?
Are you looking for a new desk or desk accessories? Check deskvilla.com out. They've got everything from executive desks, L-shaped desks, to desk lamps and more. If you need help finding that perfect desk, you'll find it there. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your cringe.
Don't ever interfere when one of my guys is on a traffic stop. Okay? My name is Sergeant Dave Ernst. I'm with the State Police Gang Task Force. Alright? This is your last warning. If you ever walk up on one of my officers during a traffic stop, I will place you under arrest.
Alright.
You good?
Yes.
Alright. You're free to go.
Okay.
Did you want to talk to us?
Am I being detained? What?
No, you were never detained.
Okay.
Ever.
Is that person being detained?
He wasn't
None of your
detained on
business.
traffic stop.
It's none of your business.
I think it is my business.
How is it your business?
Because I'm a human being and
You have no interest in that traffic stop whatsoever. It's none of your business.
there is a lot of racial profiling in this
oh,
town.
shut up with that crap.
Okay.
There's a lot of idiots.
Officer.
Yep.
Go, just go. You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
No, I can stand and talk anytime I want to.
Go ahead. Ready to protect yourself.
Excuse me?
We have a live video going right now.
I'm talking about racial profiling. Go ahead. Go
Who's
ahead.
being racially profiled?
That individual.
For being in a gang?
For what?
Exactly. Just being brown.
For being brown.
Yes.
Exactly.
Wow, you are about as ignorant as I've ever met.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my goodness.
You're the one who's making these things happen,
Oh
sir.
my God.
Yes.
You guys, go do something else. Go have fun. Go do something. It's Friday night, man. Don't be such an idiot. Stupid people. Put that on the website if you don't mind.
Hotheads.
Don't touch her.
That she
Move.
assaulted him.
Move. Shut the
Hey.
fuck up.
Hey! Hey!
Don't fucking touch me!
Okay, back up.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Back up. No, don't tell me what to do. I'll stand right here.
I'm really
Back
sorry.
up. You get happen?
Huh? Oh yeah, I got it. It's fine. She went ahead and kicked it. Huh?
What happened? Why is she on the ground?
She hit the police and his dash came off.
Stay back here. Stay back. Hey, I don't know.
I'm fine. They just snatched my hat. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Hey, step back.
It's alright. I tried to stop her because she tried running and I bit off her head to stop her.
I didn't interfere.
It wasn't the person who's arrested right now.
As long as you're okay.
I'm fine. I appreciate it. I'm okay. I'm alright.
I'm trying to make sure my friend is okay.
Yeah, the one in the gray.
Hey, look who it is.
Hey.
Step back. Step back.
It's physical space. I mean, he came to me. I mean, I'm gonna stop it. Huh? Yeah, I'm fine.
Did you want to press charges on her for...
Yes, I do.
Okay, then come with me.
I'm fucking done.
I wasn't talking to you, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so go outside for that. No. Come back to the office.
Would that be okay?
Go ahead. Take this up.
Hey, Red has the name for my lawyer. Red has the name for my lawyer. Red has, or sorry, Journey has the name for my lawyer.
Okay.
No, I'll use regular cops. I am using regular cops. I don't want to go anywhere.
Move! Why are you here?
Hey.
Hey, you're escalating the situation.
I was the reason that I'm
Why are you here? Why are you here? Leave! You fucking crazy stop being a shit! Get out!
first time it's ever happened. It's okay, man.
I'm fine. It's all good. They didn't physically touch me, but
Well, kind of.
You know, the
actually.
first time I saw you wearing that hat was the day after the Mueller report came out.
Yeah, actually, no. I've had this since the
Yeah.
day after the midterm election. And I
Oh,
wore
really?
it since.
That's funny.
I can't wear it every day because I'm in ROTC, but
All right, if y'all don't have business here, this is...
no, I'm the one who's pressing the charges.
Okay, well, y'all wait right here in the lobby and that'll be...
Okay, sure thing. Sure thing.
No.
Yep. Go ahead.
Get back out. You're not coming
Don't
back.
fucking touch me! Don't fucking touch me! Don't fucking touch me! Don't fucking touch me! I'm resisting!
Stop resisting.
Resisting what? What crime? I'm being suspected of
I was
committing!
waiting for it.
Articulate it! Why are you articulate it? Articulate! What crime? You suspect me of having committed! Articulate it! Articulate it! Fucking break my arm and articulate what crime you're suspecting of committing! What crime? What crime?
Right now.
I'm resisting your
Yes, sir.
closed arrest!
Yes, sir.
Am I necessary for his witness? No. Okay.
What crime? What crime is suspecting?
Hey Ben, I've
Hey,
been
how's it
waiting
going?
for a long time. I've kind
So
of
have I,
pondered.
for this moment.
Yeah, I've kind of pondered how to ask this, but how does your view of transgender issues work when scientific anti-realism as a concept exists?
You're gonna have to explain that one.
All right, so scientific anti-realism is the concept that when you see me, you see, you know, my skin, my hands, everything about me, but you do not see my cells, you do not see my atoms, you do not see the things that make up the things, they are just physical. So there is no really true way to prove, other than by hitting me, obviously, that I am right here, if it is only us two talking. So therefore, this would apply to any gendering things, including intersex, which can have an XX or XY chromosome and have androgen or estrogen insensitivity.
So I just need you to narrow this down. Is
Yeah,
the argument
what
that
I'm
things
trying-
that we don't understand the nature of things because we don't have microscopes, and therefore we can't determine sex?
I would like to narrow it down to we cannot fully identify a gender of a person right when we see them, so therefore I believe that it is not within my own individual liberty to gender that person.
Okay, so here's my problem with that particular argument. The answer is that in 99.8%, 99.9% of cases, you absolutely can gender somebody based on looking at them. Like really, if you're going to use intersex people as an example of not being able to do that, this does not obviate the biological duality of sex upon which all progeneration is based for all of human history and for all mammalian species. So intersex people do not invalidate the concept of sex as a generality. Intersex people are people who have a biological anomaly. And by the way, in most cases of intersex, those people still manifest as either a male or a female. So the idea that intersex exists does not invalidate the idea that there is a male and that there is a female, or that in nearly all cases, I can tell the difference between a male and a female. Again, I'm not saying, by the way, that if you can show me your chromosomal charts that you are actually not a male, when I say that you're a male, that I should stick with that biological objective standard. Like my perception of you, in other words, is subject to my correct enunciation of an objective standard. So the objective standard, here's the deal. For all of human history, there was an objective standard between male and female. It was, for nearly all of human history, out of partial ignorance and partially because this is usually true, it was out of simply looking at people's genitals and assessing them based on their outward appearance, right? Which is still true for nearly all human beings on planet Earth at all times. Okay. What was that?
You can't really describe someone without secondary sex characteristics and gender them into something.
Well, I mean, you can based on primary sex characteristics if you can see their genitals. Doctors do this literally at birth all the time, right? So this is but your point is correct. If somebody was male dressed as a female and I misgendered them and then they said, "Oh look, I'm male," zip, right? Then I would say correct, and then correct. I would say, for all of human history, you were male. Now the standard is chromosomal. Right? It's the SRNY gene and all of this. there is some objective standard, in other words, by which we can determine sex. The problem I have with the transgender argument is that people are arguing that there is no objective standard, that no objective standard exists by which I can determine sex. And in fact, sex is completely subjective. I can determine my own gender based on no biology and, in fact, in abeyance of biology. I can have every single biological characteristic of a male, and if I say I am female, then I am female. This is anti-scientific nonsense. Yes, Caitlyn Jenner had every biological characteristic of a male. There is no evidence whatsoever that Caitlyn Jenner was a female, because Caitlyn Jenner was an Olympic athlete as a male, with all of the chromosomes and all of the junk and all of it. Right? That is it. That is a biological male. And then we are supposed to believe that Caitlyn Jenner is a female. Listen, I'm happy to call Caitlyn Jenner Caitlyn, because people can legally change their name. If I were out to dinner with Caitlyn Jenner, I wouldn't go out of my way to say Caitlyn Jenner is a he, because why would I want to have a bad dinner with somebody? But if I'm speaking in public with folks, and I'm talking about the presence of sex, there is not a biologist worth their salt on planet Earth who would say that sex does not exist. Yeah, I agree. So if sex exists, then what are the characteristics of sex? And the problem with biological anti-realism or scientific anti-realism, as you're suggesting, is that there is no actual standard of sex, that it's completely malleable. It's okay. We can, sorry, do you have a quick response? I don't want to cut you off.
I'm not saying that sex is malleable. I'm saying there is male and female biologically. That is true, yes.
Right.
But I'm saying that gender is a spectrum. I'm saying that there is at least male, female, and non-binary because of this strange.
And what I'm saying is that there's a word game that goes on when people discuss gender. Because if we are talking about certain characteristics to which we attribute to masculine or feminine, if you want to say that there's a genetic male with feminine characteristics, we're fine. That's a male with feminine characteristics. Fine. That's fine. I mean, okay. So you're a man with feminine characteristics. That's cool. Who cares? Okay, but that doesn't make you a woman. In other words, if you are going, what we are now doing is we're playing a semantic game where we say a male with feminine characteristics is a woman. That's nonsense. Or a woman with male characteristics, masculine characteristics, is a man. That's nonsense too. And by the way, it actually ends up misgendering a lot of people who are just butch women or effeminate men. Right? So all of this, so in other words, by trying to separate out gender and sex completely, and then by using terms like male and female or woman and man that are innately connected to sex, what you are doing is deliberately, not you, what people are doing is deliberately confusing the issue such that you get idiocies like Ilhan Omar writing to the Powerlifting Association of the USA saying that a transgender woman who is a biological male should be able to compete against biological women because it is a myth that men can pick up heavier objects than women. That is not a myth. That's called science. Thank you.